What a great privilege that Yah grants unto a nation of people. That his grandeur is beyond express superlatives of a corrupt nation. Because a nation that understands not the shalom of Yah, the great benefits, is beyond the comprehension of the Goyim, the nations. Without a constitution that is so great and powerful that there is nothing that can stand against the concepts, the precepts, the mitzvah, the commands of Almighty Yahweh. They are all irrefutable. You can't refute them. You cannot challenge them by your own intellectual prowess, what you think you know. They cannot. They stand. Zachar Shabbat is permanent. Nothing can refute it. Your intellectual false delusions of teachings, they're not even teachings. If it's not based upon the actuality and truth of Torah, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It is of no value. That's why I will never stop saying it. We need wise old men and women. Yoshish. You will know when they are wise and strong. There's nothing like a simpleton of a fool. How do you know you're dealing with a fool? Because they detest Yah's mishpats. The Torah identifies those that are of a certain nature. You don't have to be one that's well versed in Torah. Simply you must have a love for Torah. You will know whether you have a love for Torah. It changes you completely, especially your panim, your face, because it changes your heart. I'm not going to stop teaching the way I do. I frankly don't give a damn who stands with me. Yeshua had no strong man to walk with him to death. He had the fledgling strength of the beauty of the woman that is dedicated, an assembly that loves him. I'm not talking about some fancy-free Jezebel that runs her mouth. We had daughters of Tizayon. That's what the assembly represents. And that's the beauty of the daughters. I'm not going to stop talking the way I talk. I'm not trying to appease anyone or garner any kind of accolades of how great I am, because I'm not of any value at all. My value is as equal as your value. Our life is just like the grass of the field. It dies and it withers. And some of the grass never yields seeds. Never. But it all dies. It all dies. That's what the body of Yeshua HaMashiach represents. That body was judged. And the only supreme power and the depth of Yah's wisdom, the only thing that body, in that body, could be purified was through death. He had to die. We cannot offer, as we've been taught, the offering of Yah unless we have impelled We have destroyed this damnable, sensual, corrupt mind. Keep walking the way you walk. You will find out very soon. I've had two beautiful calls this week, especially because they were young men. And basically one from the very extreme north and one of the extreme south. And their words were exactly the same. What a great blessing. One said, "You have made me a man. I wasn't one." Until I began to listen and I saw. This was a young man in the university. I asked him what was he studying. Young man in the university. He says, "Re'ak, I am studying agriculture. How to grow. How to mend the soil." The other one said to me, "Re'ak, every morning, every day I'm listening. This is what heals my mind in the morning, that I can start my day off right." We're a nation, we don't give a damn. Our minds are reinforced by our own damn corruption. I will not stop saying damn. Damn this wicked generation. And it caused my heart to delight with great fatness, yashin, the riches of Yah's fruits. I said to one, "It was not me drawing you, it is the Abba. No man can come unto the Abba unless he draws them." He simply knew the place you needed to dine and to get fat and to grow and to become enriched. I say to us all the time that there are people that listen to what streams out of this small community. They don't respond. They don't assist and they don't help. I received an email the other evening, which people don't know that it costs us quite a bit of money to be on the carrier of our broadcast. It costs nearly $200 every month for them to sit. Not only that, and so we really did not have the funds to pay one particular bill. So I hear from this he says to me, "Re'ak, I've listened for a long time. I have grown strong. I have matured. And I have not sent one dime to help. And tell me how to send an offering." It was more than enough. One bill was $300. We didn't have the funds actually to pay that bill. It takes that. You see, these damn hypocrites think that they can go to Walmart. That's what they are. The damn hypocrites. There used to be a woman that listened to our broadcast, WVOY. She was a poor woman, but she sent $10 every month. She had a small pittance amount in her Social Security. She sent that. This is a wicked generation. They got time to buy filet mignon, to feed their wicked bodies, but they will not give one damn dime. I don't need your money. There's nothing that impedes me from teaching the truth of Yah, and I will teach today. I did a teaching on this past week. I believe it was Tuesday. It took me about 3.5 hours to do it. It's very detailed, very precise. Line upon line, the course of Torah, from the Bereshit, the Reshith, unto Gilyana, the end, the gates of all things. And concerning Esau, Esau, Edomi, the Edomites, and the word strangers. I received an email this morning. I want to read this, and I will teach. The email begins, please continue these teachings on Shemach Yisrael. He names a message, Esau, Edomi, and strangers. He said, because I was taught differently about who Israel truly is. I was taught only Reb, R-E-B, only, precisely no other, only the white man, the Caucasian, the superior-minded one. The Caucasians are the true Israelites. And I've always felt that was true until I heard your teaching. He says, by the way, I am a Caucasian. I am white. It is the power of Yah's emet, its truth. When a man begins to hear, he will know the voice of truth. This is a damn corrupt generation. Why? Because we have no intellectual perception, knowledge, nor spiritual. Of men that know how to operate in the mishpatem, the judgment of Yah. They don't understand judgment because there is something lacking from them. I will read that. They lack the institution of Yah's wisdom, and you can see it in their activities of their countenance. You don't have to be a superb teacher. Above all things, you have to walk in the wisdom that has been revealed through your labor in Torah. When a man labors there, you will see the strength and the beauty of his wisdom. I see a putrefied generation of men, women that have no discipline of love for Yah. They do not love their husbands. It is just a fact. When I hear young men in their 20s, 21, 22, when this Torah is refining their lives, one young man said, it's a bunch of us young individuals. We need a zachin. And say, well, there is one coming your way down to Florida, our zachin Yeremiah. You gather all those young men from Tallahassee to Jacksonville. Don't worry about food because our zachin Yaakov make sure that there's plenty of food. And you all come and hear. We need those that are Yashish. They have given up on what pertains to this life. Their vision is greater and beyond the simplicity of folly of this life. And they let nothing deter them. The men today so silly that they emotion, and the same thing with your daughters. Because you don't have the ability to make intellectual, above all spiritual, precise judgments on matters. You don't have that ability because you have no ability to discern. And you cannot form a true judgment because your opinion is warped, your judgment is warped, so you judge with impartiality. Your judgment is impartial. It is not one of truth. And we think we're getting by, we think we're going into the kingdom. That's a damn lie. It's just a fact of the matter. We have the silly old men, they're silly. I'm an older man, and I'm getting older. But there's one thing I don't want to be: a silly, foolish old man. I want the latter years of my life to be strong. I'm stronger now than I was 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I am. I'm stronger here. I'm stronger in my heart. I'm stronger in my dedication. And I want that to reflect out of me. And so when I walk among the masses of a corrupt nation, I want them to see the power of my the lights. I want them to understand the reflection of my discernment, and we don't have that. We are a nation that we're not determinate in the order of Yah's mishpat, his judgment. And because of that, we're not determined to obey, then our assessment is wrong. And we know we're not determined because we're not spiritual. And that's a fact. I don't bow to this wicked generation, this corrupt nation of people. I don't care what they say. I don't care about this emotional driven, corrupt mindset. I'm going to teach today. And I frankly do not give a damn who do not care. We got to grow up. We're a generation that hide under our superficial, fleshly persona. It's almost in the old days you could not get by, I don't care who you were. And someone say, I know you're not all right. Well, I'm all right. No, you're not. And then they have the conviction to say that I'm not. You tell this wicked generation that they will lie. They will perpetuate a false image. Oh, I'm straight with you, Matt. You're not straight with me. I want to give us one of the greatest dilemmas of our ability to discern, to judge. Shaul writes emphatically, I want you to hear it. I'll tell you when I finish. He writes to the scattered nation abroad, a people. He asked this nation, for what man Yada experienced, he knows, they are the things of man. He said, unless the spirit of man, which is in him, there is an innate spirit in man. For him to be callous, that's why Yah commands him to love his issue. For him to be cold and nasty, for him to be superior in his thinking. He says, the only way you know that it is the spirit of man is the nature that was shaped in sin, born in iniquity. You don't know anything but what the nature man teaches you. It teaches you how to do wickedly and wrong, and to think that you're superior. He said, even so the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the Ruach, the mind of Yah. You don't even know the things of Yah unless you have the Ruach. And when you hear someone speaks by the power of the Ruach, you delight in that. It causes the heart to become fat and the rejoicing. He says, now we have received not the Ruach, the spirit of the world, or the Ulam, that is contrary to Yah's will. He says, but the Ruach which is of Yah, we have received the living power of Torah. And the witness of that, it is the personification of the life of Yeshua in me. You hate your ach, your chotim, your achim, your ach, and you say you have Yah, you're a damn liar, you're a murderer. You assassinate them with the ill of your presence. When we come into the presence of each other, should cause each other to rejoice. I don't like to come into the presence of men or women whereby I don't sense the love of Yah. It's this humdrum nature that is not alive. Silly jackass women and jackass men. They can't even carry the burden of their own flesh. They always want to put it on someone else. What's wrong with her? It's just a fact. I'm going to bring this thing home to his nation. I don't give a damn what the world is doing today. I don't give a damn what the faggots are doing. Damn the Club of Rome. Damn the Illuminati. Damn the Masons. And we're going to be damned if we don't get it right. You keep procrastinating and pretending. He said, no man can know the things of Yah unless Yah, he freely gives that to a man. He must give it. He must bestow that. Yah is the one that knoweth on. He is the one that bestows the wisdom unto man. When a man began to mature that way, it's our natural bodies. Do not they change as we mature? And the progression of our natural lives, it should not be one that we conclude with this hideous, deformed mentality and appearance. The daughters should get beautiful as they grow. The men should have this charm about them of great wisdom. That when they walk in the marketplaces, people wonder who they are. It's just a fact. It's a fact. Shaul says the things that we speak, he said they're not taught in the words of man, nor the wisdom or the instructions of man. He said, but what I tell you, it comes from Yah. It comes by the Ruach HaChodesh. It comes by the progenitor of Torah wisdom. It comes from the heart of Yah. What I speak, it has life. What I speak is Ruach. I speak in the first person of Yah. He said the things that we teach you, and the Ruach, the spirit of Yah, his mind teaches us. He said it doesn't compare natural things with spiritual things. It compares and lay the balance. Things that are spiritual with things that are spiritual. We're trying to equate Yah in a mind that is enmity against Torah. It is a damnable, corrupt, sensual, lustful, wicked mind. It is a mind that is satiated in only one dimension. That what I desire, what satisfies me. We don't give a damn what satisfies Yah. For me to live, it's the power of representation of Yeshua HaMashiach. And for me to die, I gain the blessed assurance of the fullness of Yah's wisdom. When you die out to your damn self, you will gain that. We don't want the truth of Yah. The natural man receives not the things of the Ruach of Yah. We get very despondent when we are judged, do we not? We don't want anyone to tell us our ways are pernicious. They lead to death and separation. Because you're trying to compare your natural carnal ways to the ways of Yah. And this Torah, it deals in one avenue, that which is spiritual. You will know because it is alive. It's like organic and inorganic fertilizers. Organic has the microbiotics. Inorganic, those things that have come directly out of the mining of rocks. That doesn't mean that it's bad for you. This must come from Yah. Yah is either all truth or he is false and a liar. Before Yahshua ascended, he gave gifts unto men. Not every man has the gift. And that's a fact. He said those things that we receive, whereby the natural man, the carnal mind cannot receive because the intimacy against Yah, he said they're spiritual. He said when you began to talk to one that is not spiritual, he said you can tell because the things of Yah, they are foolishness unto him. And the things of Yah are foolish to us. Oh, I don't think he doesn't understand because you're not spiritual. They're foolishness unto us. So we mock it. Wise man, his beauty is that he's always growing. I will prove that. He reached the zenith of that time. His beauty is shed abroad in the hearts of many. He gathered his sons, all of them, Yaqub, at his deathbed. And he told them all of the great, that's why he says to Reuben, you're my son. He says to God, you're the truth. He says to Ashur, you're happy. He prophesied unto them. He spoke the wisdom of Yah. It doesn't mean you're happy because you grin like a jackass and always laughing. That doesn't mean you have the... He said you're Esha, happy. You will have the riches of Yah's Torah, and it will cause your heart to be fat and to be strong, and you will love Yah. Jahu goes on to say, they are foolish unto that man, Evel. They have no purpose in his bosom. And he used the word neither. Lo. Lo is absolutely not. There is no way that one can, he says, neither can they be known unto that man, that person. They can never be. That's why the Torah, when you find a heretic or fool, you go from the face of that fool immediately. That's why our faces express a lot. We need to grow up and get power over the spirit that emanates from our minds. Something gets wrong if we have to hear this all the time. I refine it every time. I have never been able to do like many men, teach a message 20 years ago and go back and get the notes and teach it again. I've never been able to do that. And I have thousands and thousands of messages on hard copies and on my system. Some I will never teach in all of my life. When Yah calls the ruach of that truth to rise in my hearts, then I will teach it. He says they are foolishness unto that man. He cannot even know them. Why? Because they are spiritually discerned. They're judged spiritually. That's why he cannot, because he's trying to grasp the things of Yah naturally and carnally. We can't grasp the mishpat and the power and the purpose of Yah's judgment. We can't do that naturally. You can see it in our birth as children. Resent that. And we are still children. Whereby he wants to feed us meat. We must still eat the lechem, the bread. We can't bring the meat sacrifice or the meat zabak, the offering. We must bring that which is of the lechem. He said, when you find one that is spiritual, I'm not talking about a damn hypocrite. One whose judgment is impartial. One who sees their children differently and sees someone else's child as a wretched thing. And see their circumstance differently than others. The old man Zachim Mahalaya said to me as children left the home this morning, they said, Yabrat Zakim Mahalaya. And then this little one comes to me and says, Yabrat Papi. And she gives me a hug. Always, give me a kiss. I don't like kissing little babies on their lips. I kiss them on their little jaws. You understand? I don't like it. And there are times she will just kiss me on my lips. She's a baby. So Mahalaya Zakin says to me, she loves you. They really love you. My response, they don't even know what love is. We must teach them. We must show them the beauty of love. And I said, if we show them, she will maintain the course as Yah commands us to train our sons and our daughters. And they will not fail Yah. The Mormons don't fail their Mormon damnable God on principles. The Jehovah's Witnesses don't fail their gods on principles. The damn Islamic nation, they don't fail their God just on principle. We are a wretched, wicked people. We are criminals of the Torah of Yahweh. We break it and we will refute him. That's not what it meant. He said, but when you find a man that is spiritual, he has the law of Sadiq. He's a man that judge. He just doesn't judge some things. He began where? When a man is spiritual, where he begins his judgment. I will tell you. He begins where Yah begins his judgment. At Yah's Beat. He begins in his own damn twisted mind. You don't begin your judgment on the external, or you began here. We must follow the same principle as Yah. And that's not how we do it. They're bad. Well, hell, look at your wicked sons. And don't look at you. You Jezebel, you fool of a man, you stupid jackass. The young man, he called me the other day and he says, Riyab, there are not many. There are not many that can listen to you. And he's right. He is absolutely right. And I can lay it in a way whereby I could have this place full. Believe me, I could. I have the intellect. I have the skill, knowledge of things you're boasting. No, I make my boast in him. It would eventually corrupt me, and I'm not worth a damn now. I would not be worth a double damn then. And I can articulate and present it in a way I am dramatic. I can dramatize. I can do things that it would mesmerize the minds of many. Oh, I can too. No, you can't. You can't even mesmerize and be intrigued with you. I could, Mama. It's not, my life is short. It's not worth it. I said to my Ishmael this morning, if you all heard me talk about Blue Massey, last time I saw him, he was fishing. He said to me, Dave, I'm not worth a damn. So I picked up the paper this morning. He played basketball for South Mecklenburg. I played basketball for Olympic. We played South Mecklenburg twice a year. He went on to college at UNC Charlotte. He graduated from college, got drafted by the NBA Lakers. He didn't pan out. And he died the other day, 57 years old. He was always a person that was genuine. His Mercedes-Benz and all that didn't change him. I don't care where I saw him. Man, how you doing? And he comes from a family of athletic people. One of his cousins, Hubert Davis, played for Chapel Hill. Walter Davis played. He was a senior that year that we played against them. He went on to Chapel Hill. He got drafted. He played basketball in Phoenix for about 18 years. His uncle, Harry Davis, we would play ball at there was no gym that you could not find Harry Davis at. He died as well. So I know that this life, when a man assessed himself that way and he wasn't ashamed, he could tell you the truth about him. So we got men that cannot say, I'm a mean-ass old man. I'm a mean-ass old woman. They won't say that. And when I read that, I said to Rafi, I felt sad. I wanted to cry. I really did. I like Lou Massey. I liked his genuineness, his honesty as a human being. And yet he went on to own a successful business there in Matthew, and the drugs broke his body down. Sugar, diabetes, we better be careful how we eat and what we eat. He's young. I know I'm getting older, but I'm still young. I'm still young enough to refine my course. And it begins here. Above all, my love for Yah. You find the nature of a spiritual man. he relished the correction of Torah. That's why he meditates in it. When the daughter to Zion relish what Torah speaks, you will see the beauty of that in their walk, in their attitude. And you will see the spiritual nature of that one. They don't say, well, I mess up. No. I judge myself continuously that I keep myself in the way of Torah. He commands that when you find one that is spiritual, that one judge not somebody, judge school. He judge every matter. He doesn't assess himself because he's been assessed. He assesses himself all the day long. He talks to himself the depravity of his wickedness and how Yah sets things in order. And his mind is constantly upon Yah. And he can't lift up his hands, his kadosh hands. There's some of us never lift our dirty damn hands. You never think about Yah during the course of your labor. Because when you do, you will lift your hands. You will lift your voice unto Yah. We don't do a damn thing. You will lift your hands unto Yah. You will lift your hands. You will look to the heavens. I do it all the time. And the tears flow. What a wretched thing. But I do barak you, Yah. I know that I'm that way. It's by your love, kindness, your steadfast, your hased, your raham. Sets me straight. When you find one that is spiritual, he judges all things. Yet he himself, he doesn't even allow your shafat, your judging of him, to deter him in any matter. It doesn't trouble me when people judge me. They can call me a liar. They can call me a racist. They can call me whatever they want to. I'm not troubled by that. I don't try to amend or to appease them in a way that they will accept me. How many accepted Yeshua? They will accept the damn Jesus, but they will not accept truth. They will accept the damn white lie, but they will not accept the truth of the matter. Those who think their ethnicity is greater above all things than others. You're nothing but a pile of dung. You stink when you die. You can't tell a pile of rotten Arabic flesh from a pile of rotten black flesh, or a pile of African flesh, or a pile of white flesh. You can't tell one damn pile. They all stink. They stink with corruption. They all go back to the way of the earth. We need spiritual men. They judge all things, and they're judge of no man. And then he asks this profound question: for who hath yada, experience, discern, have the wisdom, who have known the mind of Yeshua? And he speaks with an elevating boasting after this: who have known the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach? Who have experienced that mind? He says that he may instruct him. He said, I want to tell you something, people, as he writes to Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, read the whole chapter. He said, I want to emphatically tell you, we have the mind. We have the labba. We have the lev. We have the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach. And that mind is made known by an attribute that is vitally important. What is that attribute? There's an attribute of that mind of Yeshua HaMashiach that is made known to the nation of Yah's people by a profound attribute. It is so profound, it is beyond our ability to recognize it. Can I read it? Yes. David tells us in Tehillim. He tells us that. I will read it. David said, for you to assess and to understand the presence, the ponim, his face shining upon you, among a nation, there is a sure sign. It is irreferable. It cannot be disputed. It is solid. It is concrete. You cannot alter it. And he gives us the precise insight in one verse. I tell you. It is in Tehillim chapter 9 and verse 16. I was talking to Ark Davis out there at the house of Yahweh, his kindness. We needed some equipment, some software. He says to me, tell Ak Yabin to call me. He and Yabin, Ak Yabin, he's an older man. He is nearly as old as Yabin's father. Not quite. He said, and we'll handle that. And that's what he does, so that we can get these teachings out, that people can hear. We don't have to wait days. We need that. And out of the kindness of his heart, he purchased what we need. And it was not a small sum of money. We appreciate that, my Ark Davis. He said to me, but you know, last week when you said, shut it down, even you, Ark Davis, and the command is still the same. He said, we shut it down. He said, when we shut it down, we were able to assess that teaching with great insight. We didn't have to look. If you are spiritual, you will know when a man speaks from the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach. He elevates nothing but Yah, the power of Torah. He brings no light to himself. Yeshua is his light. If he gives us the greatest of insight, he tells us, Yisrayat, Helium chapter 9, verse 16. He says, Almighty Yahweh is Yadar. He is experienced. He is made known. There is clarity of whom he is. There is interaction with him by the mishpat, the judgment which he asah, which he executes. That's how he is made known. He made himself known to Yisrael when he brought out a nation from under the bondage of this Misraim. And he destroyed the identity of a people to make known his judgment. So when Yah judge us, when he show us his great kindness, that's what his judgment is. And he judge us in measure. He judge us with a judgment. I will conclude with that. But this is how he makes himself known, by judging us. He show you your filth, you repent, and you don't regress. You don't say, I'm not there yet. He's shown you how to get there. And stop your damn folly and your excuses. You don't tell a man if you're working on the job, well, I got this to do today. I stayed all night. I got drunk, so I can't make it today. You press through, you go, even when you don't have the ability to go. And when Yah gives us the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach, we can do all things. We cannot continue to be a damn hypocrite. He would that thou would be hot or cold, but because you are lukewarm, he's going to chew you like a dog and spit you out. Get it right. Do it now. He says, Yah makes himself known by the judgment which he executes. And he tells us this. He says the Rasha, the wicked, those that are criminals, those that defy the Torah of Yah, he says they are nachash, they are snared. Well, we think because a rabbit is snared, that the purpose is just simply to snare the rabbit or the beast that we snare. No, the purpose is to kill the beast we snare. It is to impale. It is to impale. And that is what nachash is. The wicked are impaled. They are destroyed. They're taken down to the gates of hell. That's why our minds are hellish. It goes away from the correction of Torah. This is how Yah makes his presence known, by judging. And we despise judgment. Why? Because we're so wicked. We practice the risha, the wickedness of our own constitution. We don't get stronger. We get sicker. We get weaker. We become even more hypocritical. But yet you assess me and tell me I am wicked. You never tell you you're wicked. I'm not there. You're just wicked as hell. I shall, my friend, so the wicked is snared. How, Yah? In the works. As I reiterated countless times on Kidve Imat. How? By his own hands. By the hands, by your own yats. By that which is important to you, you are snared by your own wicked works. And then David, he says as he concludes this Tehillim, he uses the word Hegayon. Hegayon. He says, I have meditated upon this, hear this, and because of that it brings out one thing. It brings out a resounding musical sound of my voice. Oh, I praise Yahweh for all he has done for me. I lift up his great name, for there is none other that can save me. We don't do it. In your gatherings, you can hear laughter and folly, but you don't hear the higachon. And the reason we don't hear the higachon, because we don't meditate upon a damn thing but our own folly. That's it. And then after he says that, he says, Selah, exalt, lift him up, esteem him. We're dead because of our own sins, because we don't judge ourselves. We look dead. Our reactions are dead. Our facial expressions are dead. Same thing with you. Now I'm talking to his nation. Hell, you don't have to be here for me to talk to you. That's why we look dead. That's why we're not lively. I'm a lively tree. Life. I was looking the other day, the word nourish, its capacity, how it is translated in Torah, Khan, Chayil, Gadol. And Yah has nourished a people. This is nourishment here today. And we have gone astray from his truth. I was laboring and I could not wait to get into the house because the word kept issuing this desire to understand what Torah says. My nourishment. And then when you look at what Yah says, you will understand the greatness of his power. He feeds us like little children to keep us from going astray. This is the first visibility of Yah's presence. He makes his judgment known. That's what he does. He gives us commands. He gives us assurance. But we must comply to what he commands. The one man he commanded to marry a harlot, Hosea, he utters this to us as Yah speaks. He says, therefore turn you to Yah, your Abba. Shoot, turn around. Make teshuvah, repent of your sins. Turn to Yah, if he is your Abba. And then there are things that he tells us to keep, to guard. He says you must keep steadfast love kindness, or the haset of Yah. When one has that steadfast love kindness, you sense that. It's like a mother with her child, a father with his son. We don't have that kind of damn relationship among his people. You got cold, distant old men and women that are silly and nutty. He says, Hosea says, he says, keep steadfast love, kindness, and judgment. When you judge yourself, when we judge our own hearts, we will have the love, kindness of Yah. You guard, you shema, you preserve, you guard it with a hedge of thorn, great love, kindness. I hate a hypocrite. I do Yisrael. I sonay. I hate them. David said, Yahweh said, no evil thing before our eyes. And he said, I sonay I hate all of them that turn back on Yah. Damn hypocrites, pretenders, spiritual. Woman, if you're spiritual, your wisdom will speak in your presence. Hell, you don't have to talk. You don't have to pretend. It's silly. I shall, my friend. How about that? Can I proceed then? I will. Hosea said we must keep steadfast love, kindness, and mishpat. And then he tells us this. He says, and I want you to wait on Yah continuously. I gotta get me a wife and a husband. He said, wait on Yah. They that wait on Yah shall renew their strength. That's why you're not renewed. You're trying to wait for a damn man. You need to wait on Yah. Yah withhold no tough gift from them that walk upright. He withhold no tough gift. You're not walking upright, man. You're walking in your damn lust, old woman. Get your heart right. Your superlatives are such impactual. I know, that's why I say damn. He gives us a witness of this assurance, Hosea, as to who Yah's in love with. He uses the words arash, or betrothed. And he tells us, this is what Yah says. He says, and I will, my pleasure, will have it. That's the word. Well, Yah's will be done. That is his pleasure. For us to dwell together in unity. It is his pleasure. I don't have to pray about that to go see him if he's sick. It's his pleasure to make sure he or this one or that one is looked after. I don't have to pray about that. I pray Yah's safety. I pray Yah's understanding in the matter. I'm going to pray if it's Yah's will, I'll come. No! It is his will. It was Yah's will for Shaul to go every place that he would write unto the Achim. He was in such a tremendous captivity of those that were in desperate needs. And he said, I'll send Timothy. I said, I will send Erastus. That's why we need all the men. We can sit them before the congregation. And their presence alone, I don't care how they talk, just your presence, old man. Your damn presence should be so beautiful. If you get up there 5 minutes, then everyone will have a great sense of great wisdom of your countenance and your knowledge of a matter. And you don't have to be the smartest man. You have to be an honest man and a sincere man and a man that loves Yah. You don't have to be damn Philly flying dressed like a royal. You have to have your mind dressed, and you have to have a wisdom of Yah's Torah. I can extrapolate like you. You can't extrapolate like me. Yah says, I will betroth, I will arash, I will make you my, just like Yosef and Miriam. She was his wife. He started to put her away privately, but he did not want, Yah can't put this woman away. And you think you're going to get by because he can't put you away? He will kill you. Your damn children, your damn mama, your dad and all. He will kill you. And I will betroth you to me forever. Olam viat. He's talking to the nation. He says, this is how I'm going to make you my wife. He gives us the components of how he's going to make us his wife. He said, first of all, I will betroth you to me in Sadiq, in the righteous character of my Torah, what I command. He says, and don't forget, honey, and also in mishpat, in judgment. I'm going to judge you. You know your daughters get when your husband assesses you and say, baby, this and that. We always got to respond and tell them where they're wrong. That's why we do it to Yah. See, Yah wants, he wants us, the command that Shaul writes, he tells the woman to study to be quiet. I know that's for the body, but damn it, he tells you women to study to be quiet. Let your words be few. Be quick to hear and slow to speak. You might as well love me. He says, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to make you the kind of woman that you should be. It begins with a righteous garment, a sadiq garment. He said, and I'm going to judge. I'm saying, no, it doesn't look right on you. Take it off. Get that spirit up. No, your face is wrong. Get your face right. Get your heart right. This is in the book Hosea chapter 2. Just read the whole 12th chapter and chapter 2 of Hosea. He says, I will betroth you to me in Sodiq and judgment. He says, and in all of that I'm going to judge, and I'm going to judge your heart. He said, but also in my steadfast love kindness, in my hased, my love for you. I will watch after you. I will take care of you. I will love you with Yah's ability. I will do right by you. And hell, we become so corrupt, we don't know what love is. Women don't know what love is. They have this sensualized, fleshly knowledge of love, and they think it's love. It's not love. If it's love, then why the world, they do the same thing? Why are they not loving theirs? It's not love. I will show you what love is. I'll read that. He says, I will do it in steadfast love kindness. He says, and also with raham, I will do it in compassion. That's how I will do it. That is how I will make you my woman. That's how I will make you my assembly, my beautiful bride. That's how he will do it. Even a woman judge herself as she prepares for that great day. Are we preparing for the coming of Yeshua HaMashiach? She makes herself ready. We heard the profound teaching on the 5 wise and the 5 foolish. They all have the oil. We all sit here. You listen, I got the oil of gladness, but it is a delusional oil. You've incorporated your foolishness, your carnal ways in that. You don't know how to be kind. You've grown so hard. You don't know how to have steadfast love kindness because you have not judged yourself. That's why you get angry when someone judges you. Well, you're that way, damn it. You're wicked, man. You're mine. Yeah. You don't sow, nothing is coming back on you. It's okay in the rules. Well, you show them double honor. It's what Yah commands. You don't decide. I don't give a damn if you don't like it. How many children like what their mom and daddy said? Yah says out of them. Makes no difference whether you like it. You tell me you as young ones that they said things that you didn't like? All right. That did not annul that honor your avat and your ima. That the day should be long upon land Yah grants unto you. Yeshua says those that fear Yah honor Yah and honor the Zachim or the elder, they shall have great health. Hell, we don't honor them. I don't care. You can eat berries all day long. That doesn't mean you're healthy. You can eat like a cow with nothing but grass. That doesn't mean you're healthy. That doesn't mean you have the rafa of Yah. You're healthy when one is healthy. You see the light of the beauty of the diet, what they've been nourished by. We're nourished by living Torah. When you don't see that, you're not healthy. I don't give a damn how you eat. There are fools out there that never eat anything, meat or anything that they think that has not been processed with herbicides. And they're so damn stupid when a man blows his herbicides here, it can be 10 miles away. It is carried with bees and all that. And they impregnate as they pollinate your plant. This is a stupid jackass generation where you sit down at the table. You don't have to go through, oh yeah, I love this food. I want you to bless it, bless it, bless it. No, you told that you give Yah great honor for bread, having food and raiment. You are thankful unto Yah. You're contented. Well, I got my green grass and my blue grass and all. It doesn't mean a damn thing. You're still not made whole. Your mind is not aggressive and perfect toward Torah. That doesn't mean you go eat your hog meat. You'd eat it, but that doesn't mean you have the priv to do that. I can't sit here and let this man talk to me like this today because I want to make it in. I don't have time for no teachings of this sort that's melancholy, that you have no sense of urgency. I don't want to teach that. He's going to do it with love, kindness. And he says this. He says, Yisraya, I will even betroth. I will marry you. I will make you my engagement. He said, I will do it in faithfulness. I will be faithful to you. I won't go out with any other nation, any other people. You're going to be my woman. He said, but I'm going to judge you. It's going to be done with compassion and love, kindness. We don't understand that. No mother, no father judged their son or daughters because they wanted them to do right. If they're mothers, I'm not talking about a Jezebel. I'm talking about a real Imma. They assessed them. They had the ability to look and to discern and know what was wrong. No father is going to judge his son to bring him destruction. He wants to judge him to bring him to life and wisdom and understanding. If a man doesn't take care of his own house, I said to Iyabin, we take care of our homes. We guide them in the spiritual things of Yah and make sure they're fed and nourished by Yah above all things. If you have nothing but some food, your woman got one change of clothes, then let her be contented. One asked me the other day, well, how did the whole Raphael respond when you want to sell your house? I said, she will go with me to the woods if I command her. I don't have to command her. As long as she's close by me, that's all that matters. I said, if I have to sleep in a brush arbor, she will come. If I have to make a bed on a leaf pile and put some sticks under that, she's coming. I've never had no problem with that. And tell her to shut your mouth, woman, I mean it. You're not going to rail against me. And it caused my heart to be open and to be tender, not to be abusive. He said, well, I'll even bring you to me in faithfulness. And then he says, and you shall know Yah. You shall know me. He makes himself known by his judgment. He said, then you shall yada me. You shall yada me. He said, then you'll know me. When I come into your heart, you'll know me. We don't know Yah. We still have our Baptism and our Blackism and our Whiteism and our Jewism. We still got that shysting in us, that gay loath. And it's not producing anything but rubbish and bush. Hallelujah. Why do I constantly persist in my demonstration of the elderly men, the way they walk? Because Sirach tells us this in Sirach. There are not that many beautiful things in the world, Yisrael. But this is the thing that is so beautiful. And when we find that among the nation, we have a gem. Sirach says, what a beautiful Yafef, Tifra. It's beyond the expression of beauty by the concept of what we know beauty as. He said, what a beautiful thing is judgment. Is judgment, wisdom of judgment, intellectual judgment in a gray-headed man. When they're gray-headed men, there's nothing more beautiful than judgment. Hell, men today want to put Misclero, and the day that's what they use. And they want to spray dye their hair. They want to be cool as a cucumber. But there is nothing more beautiful than a gray or the gray-haired men, the hoary-haired men that walk in judgment, understand judgment. And their ways are so precise and so refined and so beautiful that you know they know how to judge. And their presence calls you to fear. When you look in their countenance, you have the sense of great wisdom and understanding of Yah. And these men have an experience, and they Yah. Same thing with you, daughters of Zion. There's nothing more beautiful than a gray-haired man that loves judgment. He knows Yah. You don't find that today. Find mean asshole men and women and moody and grouchy and grumpy as hell. You find superficial. You may not like me, but you cannot resist what this messenger is saying. You cannot. You can try, but you cannot win. There's nothing more beautiful than that. You would think that old men would want that, wouldn't you? And older women, they don't want that. There's nothing more beautiful than an old man that he just, hold up. And the days old man, even in the natural sense, they would say, boy, look here, I want to tell you something. Don't go that way. Don't do that there, Allah. They did it. You knew that their warnings were sound because they didn't do it. Old men today, they're just moody as hell. There's no beauty about the elderly women. That's just the truth, because they have rejected the very Sadiq of Yah, his judgment, his steadfast love kindness, and they have just relegated his raham down to nothing but a pile of dung. They don't want that. They want folly and stupidity and silly actions. No one wants to hear the truth. You set someone down to a movie, they will be attentive. Hell, you don't get sleepy either. You sit them in Yah's house and they become fidgety and everything, all kinds of things. You understand? That's all right. To your loss, my friend. Hallelujah. I give you the counsel of Yah, and I lie not. What a beautiful thing is the judgment of a gray-haired man. And look, and the aged men, the older men. One thing they possess like no other one. They possess, the Torah says they possess tav musar, counseling. Their counsel is excellent. You talk to them, they can counsel you about any matter. They possess tav counseling. Have you all not heard me tell the story? Raphael's grandfather, I love the old man. I didn't know what love was. I love hearing him talk. Because he could tell me stories of the 40s and 30s when he was a young man, Sharecroppersville, and the tremendous agony of rejection and ostracized. But it was one thing, his stories were always the same. And I would sit there in his presence. I didn't get sleepy. I didn't get weary. And I would listen to those same stories. He told me the same stories over. And I knew he was an honest man when it came to that. His stories never change. I say to Aktayonia down there, Zakin, I said, you know what, my friend? I said, these years I've known you, you have told me the same stories over and over again. And I said, I know you're a man of great integrity. I say, because I retain vital words in your speech. And they have never changed. They're always precisely the same. I said, you don't add anything. You don't take away. I said, I can recall, I can tell you what you said. He said, ever told you about this? When he began, I said, now I'll listen to watch for those main ingredients of the words. And I would sit. And it's amazing that you can sit at the damn computer all day and you don't get weary. You come in Yah's house, something is sick in your spirit, man, woman. You're sick. That's why he gives us the Shabbaton. Rest yourself. Go to bed at 7. You come to Yah's house, you're strong and you're vibrant. Now, one of y'all here rose up as early as I did and got up and carried out my day. He did. I get up early every Shabbat to make sure the house is right. I must say she did. She always. Forgive me. Why do we need judgment? You parents, do you love your children? I hate to see y'all take them out when you take them out. I know it's right, but I just still don't like it. Or Raphael say, what's wrong with you, man? I say, woman, don't start that. Go get it. Stop it. Give a damn what no one says. See, I just can't handle that, Raphael. I can't. I really, really cannot. You know how children tend to overreact. I remember one day Mama had the little one, I could hear, whoa! Dropped everything I read. Whoa, hold up, whoa. No. That's all right, did she knew nothing. Come on, stop. What does that man's wife? I don't give a damn who she is. He's my son. She's my daughter. Stop. Come here, little one. Believe me, they will get what is deserving. They'll get it in due time. Out of my earshot, all right? How about that? I don't care what a young'un has. I don't care how bad. I don't care how nutty they get. Still, that's something it's difficult for me to deal with. All right? But no parent and the mothers, they don't do that out of some kind of great scarring of the child's mind. They know that correction is needed. They have judged and assessed the matter. They have Yisrael. They have judged that matter. And they understand that. We must understand the purpose of judgment, why he judges us. Can I tell you? I know you know, but I want to reiterate. And Jeremiah speaks it greater than anyone in Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 24. Hear this. He says, he used the word Yashah. Correct me. That's what he tells Yah, to chastise me, to discipline me, to make my mind straight, to admonish me. I want you to instruct me. That's what the Yashar is. Instructions. When a parent corrects, it's instructions to the course of life, because you continue this way, you're going to be in trouble. It is to teach them. So he says, correct me. And he tells Yah how, because he knows. And he knew that if Yah did it this way, he was presenting himself unto him. He knew what David had said. He says, but with judgment. That's how you want him to do that. Correct me with judgment. Correct me. That's how that was his cry to Yah. As he saw the great perversion of the nation of his people, he knew that judgment was a great tool of Yah to show his great kindness. Judge me. He says, and not in your anger, your wrath, not in your great anger of hostility, your agony. He said, and not in anger. He said, unless you bring me, you reduce me to nothing. And when Yah, his anger is going to be vented. His anger is going to be vented, Yisrael. That's why he is angry with our wicked ways every day. Our whole concept of life must be based upon what Torah teaches, on the precepts and the concepts of Yah. It must be done that way. You understand? It has to be done that way. It's amazing. Can I say this? We adults. I watch a young boy like that he never gets weary. His mind may not be on it, but he hears it. I watch a young boy like that never gets sleep. And you adults, something is twisted in your damn mind, woman, man. I watch children that have more discipline than we as adults. Well, I love you, Riyaka. You'll get upset with me. Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll get upset with me. Love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, I love you. What's strange about that? I get upset with me. So what? Ain't no big deal. You get mad at me all the time. Now correct me. Hallelujah. He says, correct me. This is the purpose of judgment, to show Yah's great love. He's going to eviscerate, he's going to destroy the wicked. That's why he judged us. That's why we want judgment. And you will know those that love Yah. They can say what they want to. I can only demonstrate and speak what Torah says. You can assess yourself any way you want to and say, I love Yah. But that's a lie. And I read a verse here, a Khatul. It says, they that Yirah, they that fear Yah. You that fear Yah. You that have this great agony of reverence because you understand the beauty of Yah. They that fear Yah, see, only then will we find true judgment. Because we don't fear Yah, we don't find true judgment. Because we don't fear Yah, we don't find true judgment. Because we don't Yareh, they that fear Yah shall find true judgment and shall kindle true justice as a light. So the man fears Yah, he finds true judgment. And there's a light of justice, he does right by all men. You must fear Yah. You want true judgment. You don't fear Yah, you don't want true judgment. You flat out damn hypocrite. Those that fear, the messenger of Yah says, those that fear, they that fear, you that will fear Yah shall find. They that seek him shall find him. They shall find what? Riches? No, you're going to find true judgment. Judgments that are orchestrated by Torah, by the immense, the strength of Yah, shall find true judgment. And then there shall be a kindling of the fire of true justice as a light. You began to look on your ways and your deeds and say, I want to do right by my akh. I want to do right by my chutz. That's what it says. I want to be an old man with my gray hair, and that my counsel, that when I sit, when old men sit in the plaza, when they talk, their voice should reverberate to the homes. And some say, you hear what they're saying out there? It shouldn't be silly gesturing and foolishness. That's why when I'm around, I do all the talking. That's why I do all the talking. That's the way it should be. Their voices should reverberate. And one says, let's go to the plaza. And the women come and they sit quietly to listen, to hear the words, to hear the counsel of the wise man, because they know that he has the ability to judge. They know that that old man has assessed his life. And you can see it in the refinings of light in his eyes. You can see it in his forehead. You can see it in his astuteness. It's almost like being a soldier. You have to dress it right and cover down. 40 inches all around. Dress it right and cover down. 40 inches all around. You'll have right. That's all right, Mama. Don't let them clap your hands. Silly generation, don't even. You move like that until Yah says, it is time to come home. I have the melech waiting for you. You have on the robe of Sadiq. I have judged you all of those years. Sing and dance, you coming home, how precious in my sight. Oh, the death of my kiddusham, come on home, mama, home, mom. Clap your hands, mama, and dance. Hell, if your knees break, let them break dancing. I like you sometimes, man, but sometimes I don't like you. And even when I don't like you, I still love you. It's all right, Mama. Keep clapping. Keep listening. Keep growing. Keep dancing. I wish others would dance like you. Hell, you got young women can't even move. And old men so stiff and smoother than egg cream. Coming home down the line, I'm at home. I have my mind made up, and it's made up. Yes, it is. Oh, my mind is made up to follow Yah. You got your robe on, dressed in the righteousness of Yah. He's preparing you, getting you ready for the home. Keep your heart on Yahweh, Israel. We're going home one day. We're going home. Tell you something. I'm not ashamed of Yah. I'm not ashamed of Yah. I'm not ashamed of Yah. No, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of Yah. Not one bit. Never will be ashamed before no man, no woman, whether they're young or old. I'm not ashamed. So you cannot tell me that you have judgment when you don't fear Yah. Or you have no fear of Yah when we don't even enter into his presence with singing and dancing and rejoicing. We got this damn superficial interest. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You went out to the bump on the night when you walk in and, oh, baby! Shum, pum, 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 pop, 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 pop. Whoa! Let's roll. Come on. You were flies fly on the wall. Let's do that. Sure you did. We're wicked people. We don't want to deal with that concept of us, but we're wicked. There's a promise that Yah has granted unto us, but it is procured only one way. And I'll show you how the prophet Jeremiah speaks of that comforting. And he will comfort this nation. Yah says, Yisrael, you don't fear me, the same Yirah. Fear you not, O YAHWEH, my servant, says Yah. You don't fear me. You have no great honor for me. You have no fear of my judgment. He said, you don't fear me, says Yah. He says, for I am with you. I am with you. I am with you. He says, and I want to show you something. I'm going to make a full end of all the Goyim, the nations, that have trodden you down, oppress you, and beat you down, and trouble you. I'm going to make a full end to all the nations where I have scattered you, or I have nadak, I have driven you out. I have banished you, caused you to be an outcast. He says, I love you, nation. Listen to him. He says, but I will not make a full end of you. I'm so glad. I'm glad for his love kindness, his tenderness, his hased, his raham. He says, I'm not going to make a full end to you. I'm glad. There will be a voice in the Olam that will cry unto the excellent one that created all things. He said, I will not make a full end of you. But look how, because we don't have the audacity and the strength and the intellectualness of men to search and to try to define words, this is what he says. Oh, I know that there are many that quote this, but they don't understand it. He says, but I shall, as I emphasized before, I shall yashar. I shall yashar. I shall correct you. I shall chasten you. I shall discipline you. I shall admonish you. I shall rebuke you. He says, I will instruct you, Yisrael. He uses the word in measure. What is that? It's mishpat. I'm going to correct you in judgment. So that's the beauty of judgment. We ought to rejoice when we're judged. Even if we are assessed wrong, then we rejoice in that. Even it makes you pay more attention to yourself. Can I ask you a question? We get angry as a damn beast if we think someone has assessed us wrong. Can I ask you all a question? Don't answer me, all right? I am going to ask you the question. You ponder it and you consider it. We get bent out of hell if someone assesses us wrong. We get all upset. Hell, we get angry as a pit bull. I ask you the question. Have you ever judged anyone wrong? You ever assessed anyone wrong? We're wicked. We are corrupt as they come. He said, but I'm going to do it in judgment. That's why Jeremiah said, correct me in your judgment. That's how God's going to correct us. He's going to judge us. We must have spiritual men to teach us the counsel of Yah's Torah. So when we hear it, that it will cut down deep in our inward parts. that we may assess ourselves. He says, I'm going to do it in measure, yet will I not leave you wholly unpunished. He's not going to leave us unpunished. He's not going to leave us, he's not going to leave us unpunished. We're not going to be free or innocent. Well, I didn't do anything. No, he's not going to leave you that way. That's a fact. He's not going to leave you wholly unpunished. You're going to have to pay the price. That's why we want him to judge us, so that too much is given, much is required. So we assess ourselves all the day long to say, yeah, you've been so kind to me. You watched over me. And we don't take advantage of what he does, and we don't discount what Yah does for us, Yisrael. And we don't just say, well, that's not for me. It is for us. We need this truth. We need to be judged. We need to be corrected. If we judge ourselves, we will have no need of no one to judge us. We need to judge ourselves. Our own righteousness, if we're spiritual, our own judgment will correct us. We don't do that. Turn that down some. It's warm up here. How are you all? You all comfortable? Yeah. Hallelujah. It's hot. All right. I like this man sometimes. And sometimes I don't like him. But I do love him. Because if I don't love him, I can't love anyone. I must love my neighbor as I love me. And sometimes I don't like the way my neighbor does things. But I must do that. Hallelujah. You all will know much more than I will know. You younger men, you will. If you would only be attuned and hear what this man says. You don't get this by pecking on the internet looking for some false YouTube prophet. People, don't send me this stuff with some preacher on the YouTube. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear their melancholy teachings. It's just superficial to me. I need something strong. I like strong meat. So don't send me that. Don't send me videos on the club. I don't watch it, all right? I'll simply delete them. I hear the first 5 words out of a man's mouth. It doesn't mean a damn thing to me. When I hear them, God is awakening his people. Their God is not awakening anyone. Their God is Hashatan. Period. Can I proceed a little further? Well, we have a great messenger, Ezekiel. He gives us great warning. Hallelujah. He tells the nation, he talks about the allegiance. He uses the word confederacy. We are in confederacy with the wicked and those that don't even love Yah. And we join ourselves to those that are wicked, and we don't judge them. How many mothers really that look at their sons that are going astray and judge them and say, he's a wicked child of hell, or their daughters? Really? But you will judge someone else's child that way. How do I know that? Because I'm a man of experience. I watched my mother and her sister. They said they loved each other. And they thought that their sons and their daughters were better than the other one's sons and daughters. And they would say, I knock on wood, I'm glad you're not that way. You just don't know. I'm doing the same thing he's doing. I'm just as wicked as he is. But they loved each other. And yet mothers know their sons are wicked and doggish. But yet when it comes to Israel, you don't show them the same love and reverence. You will show a wicked pig if you saw it in the street. You'll wallow yourself with that pig. You'll embrace them. Oh, that's my son. This man taught me other night. Who is my family? Who is the nation of Yah? Those that shemach hear and do the will, they fashion their lives out of the will of Yah. I'm talking about sons and daughters that had walked in the truth and they have turned their backs on Yah. I'm not talking about some wicked old cousin you may see. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those that say they love Yah and you embrace them, you love them, you got this great affinity for them, and yet you have no affinity for the nation. You will treat it like a damn dog. Would you treat that fat beasts like they're human. They're not human. And that's a fact, Mama. I'm real, all right? So he says concerning the Confederacy, Yeshaya, Isaiah, chapter 8, for Yah spoke this to me. Now look how Yah spoke to this man. He said with a strong hand. I want someone to speak to me with a strong hand. With a strong hand, he says, and he, Yeshua, he instructed me, he disciplined me, he admonished me that I should, listen, not walk in the way of this people. Don't walk like this people. Don't walk like those that say they love me. Don't walk like this people. He's talking about his nation. He said, I don't want you walking like that people. It's one thing that our evangelist Hartsville, he would say, you're not going to be like the rest of them. And he would use his choice superlatives to express the kind of preachers. He says, you're not going to be like them. I don't even want you talking like them. I don't even want your vocabulary like this. He taught me something very vital. We were talking one day, and I said, oh, I know him. He said, you don't know him. He said, you know of him, but you don't know him. I know of President, but I don't know him. And you know someone, there's an intimacy, there's an attachment. Are you attached to him? Be quiet, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, be quiet. And I will listen. You let someone correct us like that. He said, you don't know him, you know of him. There's a difference between knowing of someone and you know them. The Torah talks about when a man knows his wife. He may know of another sister, but he knows this woman. I will never forget my natural mother. She says, well, baby, I birthed you, and I'm your mother. I said, but that's my wife. Well, you disrespect. No, I didn't disrespect my mother. I didn't talk to her like my brothers and my natural sister. I said, this woman knows me. You don't know me like her. And I said, I got this scar on my arse. Do you know it's there? She knows it. You don't know me. I'm your son, but you don't know me. Oh, we find that you talk. Yeah, I talk just like that. She knows where there are things on me you will never know. I will never let you see. She knows my most intimate and my most deepest thoughts that I will share with anyone. I wouldn't share them with you. Does y'all share that with us? I began this that we have the mind. Shaul said, I got the mind of Yeshua. I got a spiritual mind. He doesn't withhold no tough thing from us. We just need to walk upright. I don't want you like this people. Nothing like them. Nothing like them. I don't want you to walk in the way of this people. I don't want you walking like them. Now, he has made assessment. He had to judge them to know not to walk that way. And who is of the house of Israel? What is the true seed? What is the constitution of that people? We must know that Israel. We must know who we are. Who is of the connection of the house of Yah? Not everyone. God doesn't want us walking like this people. There must be a difference between his people and the people of the world. You daughters must look different. Your beauty must be different. That which is highly esteemed among the world is an abomination unto Yah. Your beauty is not something that accent you. Those sang by old folks when they thought they saw a fine man, they would say, boy, he sure is fine. And they would say, the clothes that make that man, and they would say, baby, it ain't the clothes that make him. He makes the rags. He's a fine thing. Mama, I'm quite sure you're not old enough to have heard that. Oh, stop it. See, I would sit around the talking den and hear stuff like that. Baby, it ain't them rags that make him. That's a fine man. He is a fine, fine thing. It's just not some rags that we put on. We put on the Sadiq garment of Yah. That's what we put on. We put on the righteous garment. We clothe ourselves in the righteousness of Yah. That's what makes us. That's what makes you beautiful daughters. The Melechim, their attention is upon you. You don't need no man's, no one else's attention upon you. Man, you don't need no woman's attention upon you. Let's get real with it. We want the eyes of Yah upon the Sadiq. We want his eyes to be upon us. Now worry about some wicked world eyes upon me. We need to get real in our walk and our sincerity. And the only way we're going to do that, we must have wise old men that know how to judge. Not silly old men that trying to show that they're old and wise, or trying to show they're old and do things incorrectly, daughters either. It's their wisdom that speaks. It's the beauty of their attitude and their position and their physicality that speaks. You will know that they are righteous men. When they judge you, you take heed to it. You will take heed to what they say. And you would hear it. That's what the old ones would do. I would see them grannies gathering in their apron skirts. They wore bonnets too. It's amazing how I remember. No, I don't remember this by looking in some book. I remember this as a young boy. And I watched them gather and sit. I watched the Sunday meeting on some of them old concrete benches every third, fourth Sunday, whenever that preacher would come to. And everybody would bring a basket, especially in the springtime, and nice and warm. Everybody bring something. Didn't have much, but everybody brought something. And it wasn't an event of folly and silliness. It was of great gravity. The women, the way they talk, not that they would not laugh, but the way they would talk, I would sit and I can remember that and just watch them. You couldn't hear their voice, and their voice was always monotone. Yeah, baby, I'll just, everything's okay. Yes, yes. That's how they talk. And the young'uns weren't out running and jumping and throwing no stones either. So you had to sit. You didn't have to sit, you had to sit there. Granny say, sit down, Bob. You knew to sit down. You weren't drunk, but you would think you were drunk when she finished with it. Well, we got sots, man. And still old people say that, young one too. You go sot over there, you're not drunk. That's what the word sots means. To be drunken, to be inebriated. Going down to Mount Zion, looking for Yah, my Abba. Going down to Mount Zion, getting ready for that journey. Going down. We're going down. We must go down in this truth. We must be immersed in this truth. That's what the physical immersing in water represents. We want our whole being to be immersed in truth. We want our minds to be immersed. We want to be immersed in the living water. And that is the character of that. That's why it's vitally important, Yisrael. It is vitally important to the nation of his people. We must understand that. We must understand this above all things. I know Jeremiah says, correct me in your judgment. But that's the only way Yah corrects us. That's the only way he gets us right. That's the only way he's going to get us right. He is not counterproductive of what he said and what has been written. David says, Tehillim 118, verse 18, he says, Yah has, yes, he has disciplined me, he has corrected me, he has disciplined me, he has done it sore. He will without excuse, he did not give me no excuse, give me no reason that he must express to me. He said, but it was one thing that he did not do, but he has not given me over unto death to Maveth. He has not given us over unto death, Yisrael. He has not given us over unto the will to sin, to devour Torah. When sin is finished, it brings forth death. It brings forth death. We die prematurely. So he corrects us by judging us. Correct me, Yah, in your judgment. And not in your hostility unless you bring me to naught. Correct me, Yah. Show me the proper avenue, the pathway. Show me the way of Torah. Correct me. And he said, Yah did not spare me. He has corrected me sorely. You felt the beating 2 or 3 days later. Mama put something on you, you will feel it 2 or 3 days later. You looked at the great marks of the whelps were still there. I know it's right with me. And there was never a time that she chastised me that I wasn't deserving. It was just that her misconstrued concept of correction, it just wasn't not right. She didn't have to beat me with no drop cord or nothing like that. She didn't have to do that. My mother whipped me until I left for home. That's why silly old mammies want to beat her daughter, 14, 15, teach her how to be a mother, teach her how to be a young woman, teach her the beauty of a mother. It's crazy as dog's dung. You teach the daughters how to be women. Young women at 13, they were married then. I'll never forget Evangelist Hartsfield. He sent his boy, IBM gave him an internship in Chicago. I was concerned. I really was. I said, Evangelist Hartsfield, the boy is young. I think he graduated when he was 17 years old. I said, he's going over 1,000 miles away from us here for an internship at IBM in Chicago. I said, I really don't like that. Come on, he can find something here. Never forget, he looks at me. He said, brother, it's either he has it in him or he doesn't. And if he doesn't, he will fall. So I'm not going to mess with that, man. Your counsel is wiser than mine. And that was my comfort. You put it in them. You train them in the way that they shall go when they're old. They won't depart. They won't depart. You train them what beauty is, mother. Dad, as you personify the image of a beautiful, strong man, that she will know what to look for in a man. Hell, she hasn't been taught what to look for in a man. She thinks a man is about sex and some kind of sensual thing. That's what you've taught her. The daddy must teach her what a man is. That's why the father, the avat, is important in the home. I don't care if he's a damn drunkard. If he's a man, there are drunkards that take care of their homes. And so she learns the beauty of a man, so you don't have to worry about her going out, engaging herself with some damn stranger of a fool, and looking for a boyfriend or nothing. She looks for a man. She sees the strength of a man. She sees the charm and the beauty of a man. She sees mama and the beauty of a woman because she sees how mama interact with daddy. She doesn't raise hell and try to uproot him and talk to him like he's a damn fool. I don't care if he's a damn fool. You don't do that. And Torah tells the woman to honor the man. Hell, you don't know how to love him, so he says, wife, reverence your husband. You don't know how to love Yah. That's why he tells us to yareh to fear him, to reverence him. So you don't know a damn thing about loving. That's why he got you old women to teach them how to love. So he just reverence the man. You don't have to understand what he said. Just do what he says. He's not going to tell you to jump off a roof. He's not going to tell you to dig a 10-foot hole. Just do what the man says. He's not going to tell you to go out here 30 below zero and walk 50 miles. He's not going to tell you that. Give me some water. You get up and get it. Don't do that. Give me some water, baby. Don't do that. This woman writes me, she said, preacher, you intense. That's one reason I like you, because you don't play around. I need what you say. These are weak, syrupy. No, they're not even syrup. Syrupy men. They're weak and syrupy. Not syrup, but syrup runs out of them. Can I? Teach them the beauty. Remember when daddy that day he was gonna, and the day we used the word called scunion. Mama, you stop it. You heard of it before I did. We said, I'm going to whip the scunion. I'm going to bring some scunion from you. It was a slang word. Scunion. I mean, I'm pulling something out of it. When I finish, I'm pulling it out. He's going to pull it out. He's going to put the scunion on her. So she said, woman, she can have babies like you, man. I will not let her hear me tell him that to defy his authority. She's in his house. So she's a woman. She can have babies now, man. She's had that first ministration and the second one and many more. She can have babies. She's not a girl. She's a woman. You train her like a woman. I hate my mother did not train my natural sister. I feel sorry for my natural sister. She come, oh, you know I love you. I said, woman, stop it. You don't know what love is. I do love. I said, oh, woman, go on, bye, bye. She doesn't know what love is. She always tell me that. Sometimes I had 3 or 4 voice messages she left over a month period of time. I said, oh, woman. You driving one day and you hit the thing. Ah! How you doing? I just love you. Oh, stop it. I said, just stop it. Don't love me then. I don't despise her. I feel sorry for her. Hallelujah. Because my mother did not teach her a beautiful woman. You can't have men running in the house. That's what my sister did. You could not have men coming in and out of the house and land up in the house like that. We were not stupid. I wasn't. You can't do that. You create a disadvantage of your sons and your daughters. It's wrong. So my sister did the same thing. Babies by different men. All 3 of them. And all of my brothers got babies everywhere. All of them except me. I got a baby. I got a baby. 1. That's enough for me. No, I'm not sad. Hallelujah. We were in the store the other day, Yosipia, Shimri. Woman asked, are you all, what did she say, are you all brothers? In the counter, y'all remember? She said, are you all brothers? I said, yeah, that's my twin right there, him. I said, I'm the older too, can't you tell? I'm the oldest of the twins. Look. Okay, I just know you all just, no, it wasn't that. She saw something that she's not used to seeing. She saw strength of men. Are you all brothers? When I told her we were twins, she said, okay. I said, oh. I'm the oldest of oldest now, right? Not only that, he's my son. Now that should twist the wisest mind, shouldn't it? She could not grasp that. But she heard what I said and she, okay, ooh. She had never seen the strength of beautiful men. That's what she saw. Just men, raw manpower, the physicality, the strength of the beauty. By the way, she was not a colored woman. She was a white woman. How about that? Makes no difference when one sees the beauty of strength and character. It makes no difference who it is. You will know. I want to finish up on this today. Hallelujah. Hear this, Yisrael. It's important for us to understand. In the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, this is Yah as he speaks, and he wants us to understand. You all put a little fire in there for this to hold up here. You that cold? Is that all right? Turn that one off for me, Zaki. This fan right here. Yeah, watch it up. I don't want it to freeze. Turn this one off. That's the one that's blowing on. Hallelujah. You couldn't make it out here with me working in the fields. Put a little fire in that. Okay. I work hard. You've been over there with me. I said to my issue, I'm going to take you out and work with me one day. I'm not going to work. I just want to work with me. So she see everything I do. And when I roll, I don't play around. I'm going to give you 125%. I'll give you 200%. And I will fuss too. I fuss all the time. Come on, man, let's roll. All right. Appreciate that. Jacqueline. Bitter me. Y'all talk that way. Let's roll, man. Get out of my way. Get out of my way, man. I got this. That's my appreciation. I don't care what a man does as long. Listen, I expect every man to do the same thing I do. He doesn't have to do it in the volume as long as he does it in the dedication. That's all that matters to me. You do it in the dedication. That's all that matters. You don't have to do. You're not going to do the volume of work I'm going to do. Period. As long as you do it with the same dedication. And if I come and see that should have been not there over there, I would say, man, let's roll, baby. And I get in there and let's get it over. And now let's go on. And that's just the truth. That's what Yah has done. That's what Yeshua has done. He has paid the price for us all. Bottom line. Hear this great instruction of Moshe. This is a word for us to be very careful how we interact with each other, with the world. He cautions us. And he gives us knowledge of how he deals with us as a nation and what he promotes and commands of us in Dibarim. He shows them the power of his nature. First of all, he says to them, he said, your simla, your raiment, through the great journey. Now, if we got on the righteous garment of Yah, our garment will not grow weary. This is what this great Exodus month of Israel represent. He shows us. He says, and your raiment wax not old upon you. This way doesn't get old and tiresome. It doesn't vex us. It doesn't make us weary. That's what it says. It doesn't make us weary. Your clothes do not wear. He said, neither were your feet, your rechel, they did not swell, they did not bosaka. Our feet should be sharp with the preparation, with the message of Yeshua. We should always be prepared to walk in the light of the Torah when we hear the righteousness of Torah. That's what this journey represents. He said, your feet did not swell. He said, there for 40 years. 40 years, nothing happened. You had everything you needed. He says, you shall also consider. We never consider us. He said, I want you to consider in your life that as a man, Yeshua, as a man corrects and discipline, admonish and judge his son, so Yahweh, our Abba, chasten Yeshua, us. As a man chasing his son, and a man that loves his son judges his son. A woman that loves her daughter, she judges her daughter. And she considered in her heart, he considers in his heart to guide them in the pathway, not a way that had brought them down to a damn stupid individual, but to the way that caused their light, or the light of Yeshua to be enlightened, and the light of his power to shine from them. I would not want my sons to walk the way I walk. I would not want my daughters to go the way that I've gone, or their mother. I would not want that. I want them to see the excellence of the beauty of mom and the excellence of father. This billionaire there in Malaysia, he has a daughter that's a butch bulldagger. He offered $120 million to anyone that can change her attitude and make her a woman. 120 billion. He had commerce from everywhere. Men say, I'll get it right. This man said he has engaged with over 10,000 women. Insane. And now his daughter, because he procured that curse in his house, he wants grandbabies. He wants a man. He's a wealthy billionaire. One of the richest men in the world. He produced a dog. A dog. A dog. A dog. She's not even a whore. And she calls herself married to another woman. And she works for his enterprise. And he pays her, and she's set to inherit all that he has because he's an old man. But he has no grandbabies. He has nothing. I'm glad that the riches of Yah's birth in Israel, it produces fruits. That's what a woman's womb produces, fruit. And it produces the peri, the fruit of life, and the fruit of the wisdom of Torah. I'm glad of that. He had no elderly man to counsel him that whatever you sow, you're going to reap. Yah's not mock. You sowed, you're going to reap it. Mama, you've sown it. Daddy, you've sown it. You're going to reap it. Unless Yah has his hands on that one. I said to those that were here, I saw their lifestyle, some of the most wicked things that one could do. And now their sons and daughters, I said they will do things worse than you. And they're doing things worse than mama and daddy. They're doing it worse. As granny would say, worse. How about that? Just when a mother, father comes to any kind of sense of knowledge and understanding, they began to change the course. Mother began to show her beauty in a beautiful way and show the daughters and sons, son, this is what you look for in a wife. I'm a wife. So this is the kind of mother you look for. That's what a mother is. That's why we go. A mother is one that feeds us with the sincere milk to cause us to grow. You teach them the beauty. You teach your sons by them watching you. You think children don't see things? How you interact with that man, they look. They may not understand, but they understand. They understand. You don't realize you're causing a fault line in them. Yah has not caused a fault line in us. He's done right by us. He says, your feet did not even swell. 40 years. I don't care how old you get, this truth of this message that shod our feet shall not cause us to swell up at Yah. We swell up at one another. It doesn't cause us to swell up. 40 years I was with you. 40 years. You haven't considered in your heart the way I correct you. He says, I want you to understand this. Therefore, I want you to guard to keep my mitzvah, keep my commands, keep the commands of YAHWEH. He said, I want you to walk in his ways and to fear him. The only way we're going to get fear is that we must understand judgment. You're not going to get fear by saying, I fear Yah. That's a lie. That's a lie. You're not going to get that kind of fear. And we are a nation that doesn't want to fear. We do not want to fear Yahweh Yirah Leviticus. Hallelujah. That is just the truth. And that's why we get upset with men that are true, men that are sincere, men that will tell us our wicked ways and show us the vileness of our own hearts and show us how unrighteous we are and how unclean we are. We don't want men like that. We don't want that. We want those to lie to us and show us and not show us our corruption. We don't love men like that. We always want to challenge them when they tell us how wrong we are. And challenging mama when she says you're wrong. Mama has to have the standard. Daddy has to have the standard that when they see mom and daddy, they will know when they're wrong. That means you don't have to tell them everything. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Listen to this in YAHWEH. I want you to hear this. It says in the book of YAHWEH, chapter 26, hear this. It says Yah speaks to us, his nation. He gives us great promise if we obey what he commands. And he tells us here that, and if you will not be reformed, if you don't change your ways, if you don't, Yahshua, you don't receive the discipline of Yah, his admonishment, his instructions. He says, Yah said, if you don't receive that by me, by these things, but will walk contrary. Now this is what he said. He uses the word contrary, akeri. Contrary is being hostile. Yah says, if you will walk contrary to me, if you will be hostile toward me, Yah says that I will chasten you. He said, if you will walk contrary toward me, he said, I will punish you even 7 times for your sin. And then he says a few verses down, he said, because you have walked hostile toward me. We don't think you tell me parents don't get hostile with their sons and daughters when they go estranged from the ways that they have taught them. Yah says, then I will walk contrary. I will be hostile. I will walk contrary to you also. But he uses the words chema with a pause, and that is so venomous. It's almost like a mother say, I'm going to break your backside, and she doesn't spare you one bit. Her judgment is not impartial. She judged each one of her children the same. There are those that say, well, this is my... I used to hate that when my mother said that. Make me feel as though that I wasn't a son. This is my baby. This is my baby. I hated that. I hated that. That troubled me as a young child. The baby got preference. The baby could not do wrong. The baby had a special emphasis. And she treated the baby different. I hated that. That bothered me until I was in my teens, until I left her house. And after that, I didn't care. But as a young 10, 12-year-old child, 13, that bothered me. She didn't say, these are my babies. This is my baby. Or this, when people come, this is my baby boy. It's wrong. It's not right. So judgment with me, she will whip the hell out of me with a drop cord. She never whipped him with the drop cord. Hell, I didn't get the drumstick. He got the drumstick. I got the chicken back. Hell, they didn't get food stamps back then. They got surplus. It wasn't right. But that did not cause me to despise her. I loved her. And the only way I knew how to love her. Train them up right and teach them. Yah says, I will walk contrary to you. And he said, now my correcting you, my judgment of you will not be in judgment. It's going to be in my chema, in my venomous anger and hostility toward you. I will chastise you. I'm going to whip the hell out of you, even 7 times. We can't walk contrary. What is contrary to walk hostile? You've never been hostile, have you? You never heard anything and say, well, I don't like that. And got mad because the messenger said something to you. You've never done that. You've done that? I know we have. We become hostile toward the one that instructs us and tells us what we're doing wrong. We've gotten angry with those individuals that show us how wicked we are. You've never done that, have you? Maybe I'm the only one that has done that. That's just a fact. Hallelujah. Listen to this. I want you to hear this. Hallelujah. 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 I'm like Zachin. I'll close in a moment. Hallelujah. Hear the word of Yah. I'll give us a great confirmation in the closing, all right? Don't worry, this is Yah's day. We need to learn how to be astute when we come before Yah. Hallelujah. 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 This is one of the most profound things that we must understand. And I want to read this, and I want to touch on one thing before I close, to give us great confidence in Yah. And if there's a man that could instruct us in great wisdom, is Shlomo. He tells us initially, he says, my son, despise not. This is what wisdom speaks to us. Don't despise Yah's correction, his judging. We despise that. The Musa, the counsel. Don't despise the judgment of Yah. Neither get weary when he corrects us. When he corrects us, when he reproves us, when he judges us and chastises us. Why do we get weary? When we are pure in heart, to the pure, all things are pure. But he that is defiled and unbelieving, they don't believe nothing. There's nothing pure to them. We get angry as hell. So don't despise Yah's correction when he corrects us, when he speaks to us. We are a microcosm of the reality of what's in the world, what's in his house. So we don't despise Yah's correction, his correcting us. It tells us, he says, I know even in the midst of all of my corruption, for whom Yah loves, he corrects. Whom Yah loves, he judges. If he doesn't give a damn about you, he doesn't judge. You can get all phony what you want to. Well, he's talking to me. Well, you're damn right I'm talking to you. I'm talking to this house. He's trying to show you some love, man, woman. We've been ignorant all of our lives. I will never forget, Mama. I remember his father was in the hospital. I went to see his father. This was many years ago. And I met this woman. She was a nurse. Her skin was black. I'm not exaggerating, as that Sheikh Zakhin has. She was a black woman. Very hardworking woman, you could tell. Very thin, she was an older woman. And she had had 4 children. And her husband died, I think, when she was about 28 or 32. She had all these babies she had to take care of. And she was a very studious woman. The beauty of the woman, I like that more than anything. She was a nurse. She had to do something to take care of children. And I'll never forget, she says to us that day, Evangelist Horn and myself, I was just there, no one else was there. Your mother wasn't there in the hospital. She says to me, she says, I loved my husband. She was a young woman. She said, he died when I was 28 or 30. She was a young woman. She said, I had 4 children. She said, but my love for him was so great, I've never sought any other man. I've never looked for another husband. Come on, a young woman like that. She said, I never wanted another husband because I loved him. And that's love. Yah doesn't want another wife. He wants this woman to get right. He doesn't want. She said, I never sought. Mama, she was about your size too, a little taller, little woman, and her skin was black as the burnt sun had burnt her skin. And you could tell, I'm very loquacious. I didn't say a thing. I listened to this woman talk. I didn't say a thing. She was older than us. She says to us, I love my husband so dearly. And when he died, I had 4 children. I didn't know what to do. I like the part that how she loved that man. And so just like it would have been caught under 3 scores of years, that they should serve strangers. This woman wasn't a busybody. She had 4 youngers to take care. She went to college. She got a nursing degree. And she says to me, all of my babies, all of my children, she loved them all equally. She gave them all the same benefit. I put them all through college. All of them, they're students. At that time, that was very impressive to me. They're all educated. And it was only because of the kindness of Almighty Yah. Of course, you know what she said. She says, I don't want a husband now. They're all grown. They all got their careers. Because I still love that man. That's all right. Hell, that woman, the husband died today, they're looking for something next week. Because the Torah used the word wanton, they become so lustful. So sexually lustful driven. They will marry a bullfrog. They become so lustful, wanton. The elderly women serve the strangers and wash the feet of the strangers. That's what you do, old woman, and men clothing and be kind. That's what you do. You don't have to love me. That's all right. I want to emphasize this. The last verse I want to read, because I want to show us what the fear of Yah is. You all know what the fear of Yah is, don't you? That's all right. I'll tell you. Shlomo's wisdom speaks here with such great clarity. He says this to us. He says, Yah, Yahweh. He used the word sovereign. Your kingdom and its jurisdiction, its mandates. There is no jurisdiction over Yah. He is sovereign. In essence, he answers to no one. He doesn't answer to the universe, and he certainly isn't going to answer to you. You're free. You're sovereign. Your sovereign is your strength, because he doesn't answer to anyone. But this is the beauty of his sovereign and his strength. He says, and does deem. You judge. You judge with honesty. It is straight. That's what the word deem means. It's Hebrew. See, Mama said deem. She didn't understand, but she drew back on the wisdom and what was instilled in her from the forefathers. She says that your judgment, he says, your judge, he said, and the strength of your sovereigns, this is what solidify your strength, that you do judge. He judge. How? With mildness, with his love kindness. He doesn't want to destroy us in his anger. We don't even know what mildness is, because we're not mild. He judges us with mildness. And above all that, he has a great forbearing. Tell me a mother that they judge their child and all of a sudden 3 or 4 times they cut the head off. They don't do that. They judge with mildness. And they do it righteously. Stop. Yes, ma'am. Stop, boy. Yes, about the 10th time, they say, okay, I got something for you. They don't abuse him. They don't break a bone. It's right. I know I'm silly in that regard, but it's still right for this Avad. Come to me. Daddy spanked me. I said, oh, mama. So I'm going to spank somebody. Yeah, I say it like that. Don't worry, I got sir. I'm going to spank me somebody. How did he spank you? Show me. Show me. No. Show me the real deal. I said, I got someone. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do some spanking. I got some spanking. Mama spanked me. I said, that's all right. When I start spanking, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Reactive young woman, I don't want to hear that. When I tear the house down, I'm going to tear it down. He judges us with mildness. Everything has been said today has been mildness, because where is that? Where is that? Where is that verse? It was a verse. Because he has not destroyed us. Correction is grievous to him that forsake the way, and he that hates reproof shall die. He hasn't destroyed us. He has showed us mildness today. And he judges us with mildness. He is mild to us. Then he has great forbearance, because he does govern us. That's what he does. That's what his judgment is for, to govern us. He says this to Yah, for you have power. Ma'uzah. You have power to act whenever you do choose. If you want to kill us all, you can kill us all. If you want to destroy us all, you can destroy us all. He got power to act and to do what he wants to. That's why I know you're sovereign. And your judgment unto me, it is kind. It is mild, it is tender. Y'all correct our wicked ways because he cares for his people. He's trying to show us how foolish we are and how wicked we are. We need judgment. We need him to judge us. We need spiritual men and women to judge us and to assess us. If we let our children go without judging them, they become like wild weeds. We need that. And when you hear the truth, woman, man, you need to redeem the time. What you've lost, you need to gain that time back. You need to assess yourself greatly and change the course of your actions and your activities. You hear the truth, you don't harden your heart. Y'all rebuke you today, you won't harden your heart. He that is reproved, harden his heart. He that is reproved often, harden his heart. And then destruction come without warning. So you don't get mad when someone correct you. You rejoice that he's considered you enough to correct you. You delight in that. You show me one of us that's without correction. You show me one that this word did not touch today. I don't care who you are. I don't care how clean you think you are. You haven't gotten by. Why? Because if we're the sons of Yah, he loves us. He corrects us. He brought us here today to judge us. Say your rags are not, you got on rags, but they just ain't not fitting right. Your clothing is filthy. Your simla, your rags is full of sin. He corrects all he loves. And if you love someone, you will assess them. Your men love Yah, you will begin to grow with the few days you have left. We don't have that many more days. I may die before any of you all. But I know my days are few. And if anything, you leave a legacy unto Yisrael. A beautiful old man, a beautiful old woman, a kind one. That's what you want to leave. You think someone think about those bodies, that stuff that is decayed out there? They really don't. They don't even think about it. You think you all will go out there and get them graves fixed up real pretty? They should be. They ain't going to do a damn thing. I'm talking to you now. Yeah, I'm talking to us here. You're not going to do a damn thing. It doesn't mean a damn thing to you. Now, you ought to go out there because I said that. You do something. That was one of the most important things among Israel. It was important. For they laid the patriarchs. That's what they were. Headstones. That's not man's. It was a marker to indicate who lay here. So when they went for the body of Yosef, they know where to get it. That should be one of the most beautiful places here. Oh, I got some ideas what I'm going to do. I'm going to have my chut to do me a nice, beautiful sign and all that. But that place, every one of those graves should be beautiful. That's why I had the boxes fixed up. And so we can paint them and make them pretty. Put flowers on them, nothing else. Make it beautiful. Graveyard should always look like that. No, we don't go there to call on no damn dead. But that's just the truth. Hallelujah. 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 It is the truth. Nobody even gives a thought. We don't give a damn. I pass it all the time because I'm so busy. I don't have the time. I said to Yabin, I can't be when I get the money. We get the money. I want those graves painted. I want to really make them beautiful. I want to put some posts in there and fence it off real nice. So we have to bury someone we can get in with the. I want it pretty. And we don't frankly give a damn. Oh yeah, death was an important part of Yisrael's construct. That's why you buried them and you had 7 days of weeping, you mourn. Yeah, you're supposed to cry when they die. Your heart's supposed to be broken. Now you're not supposed to sit around and party and drink like these damn dogs in the world. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to come and weep. You're supposed to come and wail. You're supposed to. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to wail. That's why you put them in, they die today, put them in the ground tomorrow. And then you weep. You have 7 days just weep. You're supposed to. It's right to do it. And so when you go to the graveyards, it's a beautiful place. I can't do but so much. You gotta listen, I want to close with this one thing. We all say we have the fear of Yah, don't we? We all say, all y'all fear. Don't answer me now. Just let you ponder on your mind. You all fear Yah. I'd ask us, what is the fear of Yah? There's only one way you can fear Yah. And that's the only thing that represents the fear of Yah. This is the fear of Yah right here. People say, I fear Yah. You're a liar. You don't even fear nothing. This is the fear of Yah right here. For the Yareh of Yah, the fear of Yah. This is what the fear of Yah is. Oh man, I tremble at his feet. I say, you're just a flat out liar. You don't tremble at Yah's feet. You don't tremble at him. You don't tremble at his name. We must see what constitutes the fear of Yah. This is what the fear of Yah is. For the fear, the Yareh, the Yirah of Yah. For the fear of Yah is to hate Soneh. Ra. To hate your damn evil heart, your evil ways. That's the fear of Yah. When you hate evil. You must hate pride. I got what you got. You don't have a damn thing. You must hate your arrogant ways. And you must hate the evil ways. I'm spirit. You're not spiritual, woman. You look silly. You must hate the evil ways. And you must hate the throat, the mouth that is always talking. Do I hate? That's Yah's fear. To hate your damn pride and your arrogance. Hate your evil ways and your froward mouth. You always got to inject your opinion or your words. You got to hate that. And when you begin to hate that, then wisdom, counsel of Yah's wisdom, and wisdom says counsel is mine. Musa, correction is mine. And sound wisdom, I am understanding, and I have strength. And then you will begin to grow in the wisdom of Yah. And by that same wisdom, kings reign. And the princes, the czar, they have authority and mandate to govern the province. That's what the fear of Yah is. Not this lie that you say you fear Yah. In Proverbs 8:13, you can't find it there. That's what the fear of Yah is. You know, there are those that will come and say, you know, I just fear you. I say, well, how do you know you fear me? Man, my bones were trembling and I was just trembling. No, you must hate your evil ways. When you don't see your evil, sadistic, vile ways, you have not judged yourself. You're not spiritual to correct yourself. You don't correct yourself. Something is wrong, man. Come on. I'm 58 years old and I'm acting more mature than what I was 25. I'm acting the same way when I was 35, 45, 55. Something is wrong, man. My attitude is constantly twisted and warped. Something is wrong in you. I don't give a damn who you are. You're not a wise old man. You're not a wise old woman. You get up moody as hell every day. You're not judging yourself. You get the right ruach in you. You get up every day with the rejoicing and the gladness of Yah. Just like the young man said, I listen to you every morning to purify my mind and to make my way pure when I go out of here. You're strengthening my heart to be a man. When you hear that from a young man, when you hear that from a young man, when I hear that from young men, you see, Yah calls those young men to write me and want to send a tremendous offer me to strengthen this man, to let him know this. Can I say this? It makes no difference whether one hears what I preach or anything that comes from here. Yah sends forth his word. It doesn't go out and return unto him shelf empty, but it goes out and accomplishes that which is intent and purpose to do. Kohelet. Ecclesiastics. It accomplished what it is. So I'm not impressed with that, but I'm impressed that their hearts were open. This man writes me that I am a white man, but I've been taught those over there, they're heathens. And I brought that teaching. I want to put that on after this broadcast. I've had it for a long time. I've got messages. I've got some I'm going to teach from sitting down in my office, especially all this polygamy and all that. These are lying dogs. These are devils from hell. These damn liars of lunar Shabbat. Well, can I give it to any of you, all of you, and you get me the scripture to teach it from? No, you cannot do it. Have men, I got wisdom. Just you don't have a damn thing, man. I don't compare myself with what you got. I got what he got. I got the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach. I had one to tell me that one day. I said, then you don't have a damn thing. You got what I got. I see why you're in the shape what you're in. I said, I see why you're in the condition you're in. He couldn't answer that. Boy, it startled him. It startled him. So you got what I got? Then you are in bad shape. Because I don't have a damn thing. I have nothing. Then that shows me why you're in the condition you're in. Because if you're making your comparison to what I have and you got, you're sad. The old song, got just what I wanted, got just what I wanted from Yamaba. Oh, I got what I needed, I got just what I needed. Came to the house of, yeah, I don't remember, that's all right. Got what I wanted, got just what I wanted, I got just what I wanted, got it from, yeah, oh, I got what I needed, I got what I wanted, got it straight from the bosom of Yah. You got to rock with me, mama. Oh, I got just what I wanted, got just what I need. Oh, I got what I wanted, got just what I need. Oh, I got what I wanted, I got just what I need. Oh, I got it from the throne of Yah. Yah rock you all. May the riches of Yah. They joined us for the live broadcast and an offering. We got some faithful ones that are so persistent in their faithfulness. And some of you all, that's all right. Yah's going to shake the house. No, I'm not talking like Benny Hinn. I'm telling you. You're not going to go to Benny Hinn and find this. You're not going to find too much like this on YouTube. And someone subscribed to our YouTube site, so I always check to see who it is, see what message they put up. Often, you know, they put up the other Achim. Look this morning. I look, here's Achim Yeramiah. Why you ain't got me up there? Got this man here? Not his preaching. Why not me? Got just what I wanted. Got what I needed. That's all right, man. You did the right thing. You put the right one up there. Hallelujah. We're going to send our Zakin down the floor. He's going down there to tear the house, the place up, to give wisdom and understanding. His methodology is not like mine. In the course of time, it would develop. The process of time. You understand? I like the way he does it. I don't want him to try to do it like me. I want him to do it just like that because we need that. I like the way he does it. I like the way Zakin Bidameen. I like the way Shimri, any of the Achim. I don't want you to try to be like me. I like the way the young Achim. I want them to do it just like that. Don't try to be, no. I like the way he does it. That is needed. And this is needed. What he says needed. What they say is, it's needed like that. It's needed. When you get up at time when it's so broken English and all that, can't hardly put a sentence together, all that's needed. Got just what I wanted. Got what I need, got it from Yahweh, the great one of the heavens above. Oh, I got just what I want. We got what Yah intended of us to have today, Yisrael. You'll send your tithes and offerings and a gift to help. Hallelujah. We're looking forward to the season of Yah. We're going to celebrate. We've never done that. We're going to celebrate the new year of Yah. And beautiful colors and festivity. I showed our fairs some material. It was teal and burgundy and gold plaid. I said, I want some breeches, not pants. I want breeches out of that. She looked at me and said, boy, teal and purple and turquoise and gold. There's some plaid too. And then I want a top that's got colors in it. Colors that were yellow and don't worry about it. I got it. And then I want me a teal vest. And we're going to have a great time singing and dancing. And I'm going to dance and we're going to eat. A colorful event. We have to do things to inspire the hearts of our children, just a few of them. But I want to make this place where they will enjoy it. That's why we do what we do. I could have had that building finished, but there are things I want to do so they can enjoy it. Have a big loft up there so they can go up there and run and play and deck all the way around so they can run around and a little playground. Yeah, I'm put a playground out there too. so mama can watch them out of the window. They can play and all of that. No, we don't have the monies to do it, but that's all right. They'll come. I can do it. We can do it half-heartedly, but that's how I do things. I want them to enjoy it. I said to the girls, as soon as we get it ready, I don't like the word slumber, but we're going to have a slumber party. I said, don't worry, we got somebody to go there with you. I said, where's Zakia go? She said, well, she got a husband. I said, makes no difference. She got young ones too. I said, we'll get Yashushana. I said, no, we have enough in there. We'll draw them all out. What we're going to kick down on, we're going to have every kind of cookie, every kind of chip. Yeah, we are. I said, you can get a hotel room. She'll be there. They'll come and eat. Don't worry about it. What's wrong with that? They spent the night one night. Mama doesn't know how to go out and get stuff that I would get. She got these sorry ice cream bars. I mean, I said, no. I would have got those Klondike bars. I would have got strawberry. I said, that's the way I would roll. Not even a bag of potato chips. Come on, I can see if I eat like that every day, but I don't. Not even one bag of potato. That's all you get, and some little old Snicker bars like that. No. Give me some Klondike bars. Give me some strawberry and pineapple. And give me some chips. Give me some hot chips and some. Get me 3 bags of chips. I don't care if you don't eat. If you eat it, so what? Give me some barbecue chips and get me some plain chips. I don't want no plain chips. You just had a ball that just ate so much and no sparkling water. I want some sparkly juice and everything. And next time I do it, I won't let her do it. Sorry, vanilla ice cream bar. Cheap and sorry. Cheap and sorry. I said, woman, this, I gave you 20 spots, that's all I had, and you come back with this trash? 1 bottle of sparkly water. 1, mama. Just 1. Get some Klondike bars. Get some strawberries, some pineapple. You talk to me, all right? Get some spicy cheese. They like that. And get some. So, you get 1 bag of potatoes. I mean, come on now. You don't even have no slumber party without potato chips. You come back without 1 bag? They said, woman, wow, I was very disappointed. You don't eat that, but that's all right. I can see if I be eating it every day, but I was very disappointed. Very. Get some donuts or some honey buns. Yeah, I said donuts and honey buns. Some donuts and honey buns. Get some chips and let's rock and let's roll with it. Let's get silly. We're not going to bed at 9. Don't be you go to bed at 9. That's not fun. Let's stay up. So everybody fall asleep. You so dead. You 8:45. It was 8:30. That's no fun, woman. You bring them. You don't want to have no fun with them. Now let's go to bed when they fall out. They eat enough, they'll fall out. Eat enough chips, they'll fall out. What do you mean? How do I know? Because we have fun. When I finish with them, here, take the flashlight. Okay, get under the cover, shine the light and all that. I lose, and all of a sudden you don't hear nothing because they're gone. Where's my flashlight? It was at the bottom of the bed. I took that thing loose and trying to get it back together and just fall flat out. That's fun. So when I fix that up and rope so young a boy can just swing let him climb all the way up to the rafters and slide down. Huh? That's how you do it. Oh, you pack of hypocrites. May God bless y'all. Come on, Zaki. Bless you all, Yisrael. May He strengthen your own. Be encouraged in Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. Now, I don't bless that the message you received it, whether you received it or not, is still right. Bless you.
Again, you all are listening by via live stream. Beautiful message on last night and today. Yahweh, He gives us of His best, Yisrael. Of His best. The best of His Torah. The best of His essence. He's given us Yahshua HaMashiach. Why would we not want to give Him our best and our all? What He has given us, Yisrael. Hallelujah. The best of praise, obeying His Torah and everything. As Yahshua HaMashiach did, He pleased Abba Yahweh in all things. He gave him just what he gave unto him. He gave it right back. Hallelujah. So let us do that, Israel. Let us contend. Let us continue to fight this battle of Emunah, that we stay in the places that Yahweh has placed us, Israel. Hallelujah. Let us stand to our feet. Toda Yah. We brought Yahweh for his hasid, his hasid, his ahava, for he pours it out upon us, Israel, without measure. Abba Yahweh, we told you for another day you have made the Shabbaton. Even though we know it's cold outside, yet, Abba Yahweh, it is your will that is being wrought. And just as the seasons change, Abba Yahweh, all by your will, so shall Israel come to the fullness of that which you have set from the beginning, Abba Yahweh. We told you for that. In all things we do barak you, take those that have come from near and far, Abba Yahweh, home safely. At your Melikim, your Malak be encamped around Kol Yisrael. In all things we barak you. We give you Todah. In the precious name of Yahshua HaMashiach, we do declare, hallelujah, 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 Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, Kol Yisrael. Hallelujah.